Whatever you think of Tiger Woods, there's no disputing that he was the best golfer on the planet at one time. Personal issues, coupled with a devastating string of injuries since his last major in 2008, made it fair to wonder if we'd ever see him win on golf's biggest stage again. So what did you really think I was going to lead with today? Tiger entered the final round of the Masters, one shot off the lead. He'd never come from behind on the final day to win a major, even in his prime, but the door opens here on 15 when leader Francesco Molinari went into the water. He had several bogeys, and here comes Tiger. The birdie on number 15 gives him the lead in the Masters. The very next hole, it's a short par 3, and take a look at this tee shot. It's about perfect. This is about like prime Tiger. It's going to roll within just a few feet of the cup. Takes a little while to get there, but trust me, it's worth it. He would make a short tap-in birdie to take a 2-shot lead. At this point, you knew unless something drastic happened, he basically had it in the bag. And on 18, he finishes things off for the first time since 2008. He is a major champion. It's his first Masters championship since 2005. He gets a big hug with his son, Charlie. His 15th major overall, 5th green jacket. The comeback indeed complete. He is back as Tiger Woods wins it by one shot over a very good field, and it is a very great moment in sports to see one of the best come back from a string of injuries after getting several back surgeries.
Which gave me a chance at, having a normal life. But then all of a sudden I realized I could actually swing a golf club again. And I felt if I could somehow piece this together, that I still had the hands to do it.
He certainly did. Speaking of some good hands in the major leagues, the shortened series finale between the Twins and Tigers, third inning. Look at Byron Buxton, guy who's been dealing with some injuries himself, but that's why he's probably the best defensive center fielder in the game. Home half of the inning, Twins still with that one-run lead. He can make it 2 when C.J. Cron lines one into the seats. That's his first homer as a Twin, and it's 4-2. In the 7th inning, some more insurance. Eddie Rosario with his 3rd bomb of the season. Minnesota up 6-2. Tigers got to within 2 and loaded the bases in the 9th, but Trevor Hildenberger with some gas to end it for the save as Minnesota takes the series by a final of 6-4. Like most of the rest of the residents in their state, the University of South Dakota football team has had an odd spring. It's just that weather can't entirely be blamed for that. USD hasn't been able to go indoors due to the ongoing renovations at the Dakota Dome. As a result, the Coyotes have been forced outside and won't finish with a traditional spring game. Instead, they held their final public practice and scrimmage this afternoon in Vermillion. After their first FCS playoff appearance in 2017, a young Coyote team took a step back to 4-7 last season. They hope the trial by fire and another spring to develop will help them return to the postseason.
Well, you're going to have a lot of close games in this league. It's just the way it is. You're going to play a good team every week, and good teams find ways to win close games. I think looking back on last year, we had some critical times during games where we necessarily didn't make the plays that we needed to make, and those are the kinds of situations we're trying to focus on here throughout the course of the offseason.
The Coyotes will kick off the 2019 season in about 5 months against Montana in what will be a reduced capacity Dakota Dome as those renovations will continue during the season. Making a playoff return is probably the bare minimum when it comes to expectations for the Minnesota Vikings next season, something Kirk Cousins knows all too well. Minnesota's starting quarterback was in South Dakota yesterday, speaking at several FCA-sponsored events. After signing an $84 million contract, Cousins was expected to be the final piece to the Vikings Super Bowl puzzle. Instead, they struggled to an 8-7-1 record and missed the playoffs altogether. Aside from some changes to the coaching staff, Minnesota didn't make many other changes, something Cousins thinks will help them find the consistency they lacked last year.
Well, continuity helps. Anytime you can keep the group together, it's not going to hurt. There's so many complexities to the game now, and the more time on task you can have with teammates and with the system, the more consistently you're going to be able to play at a high level. So I look forward to having more continuity, certainly in 2019, than there was at the beginning of 2018.
The Vikings begin their off-season workouts tomorrow. When it comes to the postseason in women's college tennis, you can pretty much bet the farm on seeing Augustana in the field. With more than 100 consecutive NSIC regular season conference victories, the Vikings have had a decade of dominance in the conference tournament, and today look to wrap up their 9th straight conference title. In the semifinals, they easily dispatched Mary 4-0, thought they might face rival Sioux Falls for the title, The Cougs were stopped by Moorhead in the semifinal. There would be no stopping Augie in the championship, though, as they do indeed secure their 9th straight title and a trip to the Central Regional. The Vikings actually have a regular season match they'll host on Wednesday against Northwest Missouri State at the Huther Match Point Center, which is where the USD tennis team was last night against UND. I couldn't show you these highlights because we didn't have the results in yet. So now I'm going to do it. First singles, number 1 singles, USD's Yana Lazarevic with a spike at the net. She beats Issa Sullivan 6-1 and 6-2. Good match in the number 2 singles, USD's Natka Komiskova with the forehand winner to help take the opening set 6-3. However, UND's Katie Amano would rally to take the final 2 sets and win the match, and UND ends up winning a close victory 4-3. Those same schools were wrapping up a softball series today in Vermillion. The Coyotes trailed for most of the game before coming back in the 7th inning. That's Lauren Wobkin with an RBI single to give USD the lead 5-4. Next up, it's Camille Fowler. She'll go the other way to bring home another run, and it's 6-4. Then for good measure, Jamie Holscher will complete the comeback with another RBI base knock through the left side as the Coyotes go on to get the victory and the sweep 7-4. We'll be back in one moment.